DK Media's Dragon Ball Z Kai review.
Oh god. Alright, welcome y'all. Back again with another review. Today we got Dragon Ball Z Kai. Got Nick over here because he's the expert.
Well,
and I'm the newbie, so.
Not expert, but let's just say that I've been watching Dragon Ball Z since I was 6.
Yeah.
Since I was this many.
I've been watching it since I was 4 months ago. So I just finished it up a couple days ago, and I just want to give her quick thoughts on it.
Yeah, we'll go by saga by saga. I got Frieza Saga, Cell Saga, and Buu Saga.
The show, I think overall, was pretty damn entertaining. There was a lot of fighting.
Oh yeah.
A lot of powering up. I went the Kai route and not the original because I didn't want to watch 300 episodes.
That's
when
right.
I could watch it in 167. No, the music, I gotta say, was really lagging, man. Like, the first half, before the World Tournament, it had one music loop they use every episode. And then after...
It's like during the Great Sandman part?
Yeah. They switched to some, like, country, weird-ass sounding. It was so out of place.
Letting me join you for lunch like this is really nice. Man, this is good! Our cooks never make anything as delicious as this!
What? You have cooks, huh? So your family is totally...
And it was in every single damn episode. I got so sick of hearing that same damn loop.
Yeah.
And then we watched the movies and they have like kick-ass guitar shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yesterday we watched the Battle of Gods movie, the Resurrection F movie. And then we had seen Dragon Ball Super Broly like a month ago. But yeah, you know, the soundtrack for Kai is hit or miss.
Also, in general, I think the show is funny as hell. There was a lot of funny moments. The first time I laughed was when Captain Ginyu switched bodies with Goku. And then I think Gohan was like, that can't be my dad, can it? And then it had a flashback to Gohan and Captain Ginyu having like a father-son relationship. I thought that was funny as hell. Also, God, Mr. Satan, favorite character of the show. Absolutely.
So good.
I'll get into him later on, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
He was funny as hell. Also, Little Trunks, Goten, they were really amusing. I liked all the characters.
First up, the Saiyans and Frieza.
So, Saiyan Saga and Frieza Saga we're just going to talk about together because it's the most cohesive link between arcs.
They just lead right into each other.
What are your thoughts on like that part of the show, like jumping into it? A lot of roles change. Piccolo goes from a villain to like an anti-hero to like a hero. Vegeta goes from like a villain to an anti-villain.
To a less of a villain and then a somewhat nice guy.
Somewhat nice guy,
the last couple episodes. Gohan goes from a little shit that I hated to an absolute badass to just some nerd. I remember those Raditz who only lasted a couple episodes. Goku dies within like the first couple episodes.
Super early.
Wow.
Yeah, Goku's like a static character, so like he doesn't change a whole lot throughout the course of the story, but he affects every other character. Like he is like the pivot point for a lot of characters, so like he's the reason that Vegeta and Piccolo and like Tien and Yamcha are like they went from villains to like heroes, whereas like Gohan goes through this whole emotional, like first his dad dies, then he gets stranded in the forest with some weird green alien dude and is left to fend for himself at 4 years old, killing dinosaurs. Earth gets invaded, you know, and he has to deal with that, and then Piccolo dies.
I didn't know the Saiyan race was like bad people.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was confused. I was like, oh, I thought Saiyans were good guys, and now they're like, you know, there's only 3 left. You know, Vegeta, Nappa, and then Raditz, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like evil. I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know they were evil dudes. Vegeta just throws Nap into the sun or whatever.
Going into the Frieza Saga.
The ridiculous Ginyu squad.
Oh my god, the Ginyu Force.
Oh yeah, it's Force or whatever.
Ah.
I'm like, oh yeah, these elite guys are coming. And then they show up and start doing like dance numbers.
Yeah, I thought they were
pretty funny.
We were talking about like during Resurrection F last night, just how good of a villain Frieza is.
Yeah, Frieza was one diabolical motherfucker. I don't know if it's because we watched the Broly movie before I watched the show, but Frieza was definitely the most interesting villain of the whole bunch. Just because he had like a huge backstory, and they really built up to him. He didn't just show up randomly and started like blowing everything up. He kind of had like a evil scheme.
He was just evil for evil's sake. Like, he's not a great villain because he's relatable, like Thanos or something, but he's a great villain because he's just like pure evil, and watching him interact with Goku, who is like the complete opposite, is just so interesting because it brings out the best parts of each, like, of their personalities. Like the fight between Goku and Frieza, so good.
I think one of my favorite moments was when Goku first turned Super Saiyan. At this point, you know, they're like on Super Saiyan level 7 or whatever. But like that first transformation, that was crazy. You know, obviously Krillin getting blown up. I think that's the first time Goku got like really angry.
It's awesome because like whenever you see characters tap into that power, like that turns them into a Super Saiyan, it's like, oh, it's about to go down because someone's angry.
Also, like one of my favorite deaths, my God, when Trunks shows up. I was so annoyed when they brought him back into like Mecha Frieza.
Oh yeah.
I was like, are you serious? They're just bringing him back. And then Trunks just shows up and wow. I instantly fell in love with this character.
The androids and Cell have arrived.
In Trunks' future, because he's a time traveler, like the androids have totally wiped out humanity. What did you think about the androids in general? Like including Cell, but mostly like Gero, Android 19, and then like 17 and 18.
Yeah, 17 and 18 were really cool. I think, was it 16, the big guy?
Yeah.
16 I thought was entertaining because he was just a straight up robot. Yes, my mission is to kill Goku. He goes like bird watching or something. That makes him realize the error of his ways or some shit. And he like sacrifices himself. I thought that was a pretty sad moment when he got blown up. I was like, oh man, I kind of like the guy now. I thought Cell was kind of whatever, to be honest. He just kind of shows up and he's like, oh yeah, let's fight. And then they do, and then he gets blown up. You know, his story is pretty short. I think he looked cool. I definitely knew of Cell.
Yeah.
I just didn't really know what he was about.
Overall, I think the Cell arc was super cool because then everyone was turning Super Saiyan. Like seeing Vegeta go Super Saiyan was really cool because like he turns Super Saiyan in a different way. It was just interesting seeing how many different ways there were to extract like that anger and all of those feelings to become a Super Saiyan. For Goku, it was seeing his best friend killed. For Vegeta, it was humiliation as like the prince of all Saiyans, some like lowly, you know, whatever. Goku is able to become a Super Saiyan before him. He was like, no, I'm not gonna let that happen. For Gohan, skipping ahead to that, it was realizing that like he doesn't like to fight, like he doesn't want to fight, but he has to. And it was like that inner conflict once Android 16 was like, you don't have to like fighting, but like to protect like Earth and like animals and humanity and all that, you have to step up. Father-son Kamehameha with Goku and Gohan.
Cell's demise.
Instant classic.
The second demise.
But yeah, so Cell Saga, overall good. Not as good as the Frieza and Saiyan sagas, but still a good time.
Yeah.
And then Buu Saga.
Majin Buu takes over the World Tournament.
This is probably the most jarring saga, like transition between sagas because there's a time jump. Goku is still dead, and then I think it passes 7 years, and Gohan is in high school. He's 16. The first part of the Buu Saga is like very slice of life, like low stakes, just taking it day by day with Gohan and Goten. Your thoughts on the slice of life stuff, the beginning part of the Majin Buu Saga?
Yeah, that's definitely where the show lost me a little bit. Like, I thought it was funny and all, but like, I don't know. It was just so slow, and I was just kind of trudging through those couple episodes. I didn't really start caring again until the Grand Kai showed up. I was like, oh, who's this guy? Yeah. I thought they were going to be villains. It's just a lot of funny stuff. Chi-Chi has some funny moments. Goten is beating the hell out of some guys.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, now look what you done. Yeah, Tournament, I think, was definitely the funniest saga, but also the least interesting.
What do you think about like the characterization of people in this arc? Not really like Goku as much, because again, he's like kind of a static character, but everyone else, like how they portray Gohan, how they portray like Vegeta, how everyone sort of like changes.
Gohan was pretty whatever at this point. I get it, because, you know, his Chi-Chi wanted him to go to school and study or whatever. Yeah. I was like, okay, I mean, that makes sense. Vegeta's still just a punk-ass bitch. Yeah. Just turning evil all the damn time. But you know, he makes up for it in the end.
He does, yeah.
And Bobbity.
Yeah.
I hated Bobbity so much.
He gets his head punched off by Boo.
What also one of my favorite moments of the show when Majin Buu just annihilates him. No, I'm just because I swear every other line out of his mouth was a snicker, and it got so annoying because he kept laughing and then he just like, oh my god, shut up. And then Piccolo cuts him in half. I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. And then of course he's alive.
Yeah, of course.
I was like, oh, great.
What are your highlights from the Majin Buu saga? Like, what moments or characters like stood out to you overall?
The fusion stuff was cool.
Yeah.
Go Tanks was kind of funny. I thought they, for the voice, I figured they would just pitch shift one of them to have them sound different.
Yeah.
But apparently they had to, both actors had to say the lines at the exact same time. Just like in the show, you know? They had to be perfectly in sync to fuse.
Yeah.
And the actors had to be perfectly in sync to get the voice in.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
Once they fuse, they just know how to turn into a Super Saiyan 3. I don't care what people think. I'm a huge fan of Super Saiyan 3. I thought it was a super cool power-up. It's like the strongest that a single person can get.
Going on to Boo's character, I thought Boo was awesome. I mean, there's three of them, right? Fat, evil, and then child.
Yeah,
Or
Kid Boo.
Tiny one. Definitely a step up from Cell. I thought the fat one was funny. He just eats everything.
Yeah.
And then, he later becomes good, which was cool. Evil Boo was awesome. Just because he was just this angry dude who just wanted to destroy everything. And then Kid Boo was he just blew everything up. Also, he was the first one to actually blow up the Earth.
Yeah.
After everyone wanted to blow up the Earth.
Everyone wants to blow up the Earth.
Destroy the Earth.
Yeah.
And then here comes Kid Boo who actually does it.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. Look at that.
It's just like, Boo is probably, like, my favorite part about Boo is just how unpredictable he is. Like, that's what made Boo so scary as a kid for me. Because, like, 1 second, you'd see, especially Fat Boo, you'd see, like, the dumb smile on his face. And then his eyes would open and he would just turn someone into chocolate. Yeah. And then that's it. And then they're dead. And I'm like, oh my god. And then Super Boo, he kills everyone on planet Earth. Like, in one fell swoop. And I'm like...
Except Mr. Satan.
Except Mr. Satan, yeah.
Because, they're like friends now. Their relationship, I thought, was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Satan wanted to kill him, and he tried it several times. After so many failed attempts, he realizes that Boo was just a kid.
Yeah.
Who was getting bossed around. And then, they get a dog, which gets sniped by some motherfucker.
Most tragic anime deaths of all time.
But, he survives. But yeah, I just want to fucking talk about Mr. Satan now, because I've been waiting to do this.
He's so good.
Going into the show, I had no idea who he was. The only thing I've seen him in, I just saw him in screenshots from the Cell games when he was with the reporters.
Yeah. So
I literally thought this guy was just a reporter for TV or something. Mm. And then I'm watching the show, and he's like the most popular guy in the whole world.
Yeah.
And he was just so funny because he was so scared of everyone.
Yeah.
But he kept having to keep his goddamn muscle guy motif.
He's like the face of everything that the Z Fighters and Goku do. No one knows that it's Goku and all of them. They just assume it's Mr. Satan. So he has to like be the face of all of the heroes in the show. But he's just so out of his league at every opportunity. He's got this like Macho Man Randy Savage voice going on. He's like, "Oh, my name is Mr. Satan."
Yeah, I thought at some point in the show, I didn't think his like legacy was gonna survive the whole time. Mm. I thought eventually like he was gonna get knocked out or something, but no, he manages to just stay on top. Like one specific part, I think it's Kid Buu. Like when he confronts Kid Buu or something. Oh. And then Kid Buu's trying to hit him, but he's like begging him in the positions so he would like dodge him, and everyone's like, oh my god, I didn't know Mr. Satan was this powerful. Like Piccolo was like, I underestimated this guy. I just thought that was just so funny. God, what else is there?
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, what are we fucking free to talk about? That's about it. Dragon Ball Z, good show, check it out. I don't know about GT. I'm gonna skip it. Going right to Super.
Right to Super.
And I'm sure we'll do a review on that as well.
Just give us a little bit.
Just got to go through like 100 episodes or so. So
yeah.
Dragon Ball Z. Good show.